Welcome everybody back to another video where today we are tier listing every single mega token in orders of the way that they came out. So if you want to know the order of what you're supposed to play, here is straight up the order. So I'm going to be basing this off of how fun they are, what way they came out in the event, and also my experience in playing them. It's going to be a bias list, but I do want to hear your comments so I can argue with you for no other reason. Not engagement, I just want to argue with you. So for the first game, it was very unique. We were just on stream and I was told that we need to find mega tokens. I was like, what the heck is a mega token? It's like I thought we just needed to find one in each game. And I thought I was competing for the $10 million in just that night. Then I was like, SpongeBob is important? We're supposed to be finding a mega token in SpongeBob? I was very confused. Wasn't really sure what was going on. But SpongeBob, for being the first one, I want to say I put it at mid, but it really was kind of a fun puzzle. You have to dig under the sand. You had to then go to the trade hub. It was very entertaining. I'm going to put that one at fun. Not so much replayable because it's just the same TDS game and it was very, easy. But that's where I'm going to be putting SpongeBob Tower Defense. For the SpongeBob game, it was pretty good. Event-wise, I don't think I'll be playing it much after because I'm not a fan of SpongeBob. Hate me. And then for our next game, we have Untitled Tag Game. This one, a lot of people were able to find the portal that appeared on the wall before we had access to it, because we didn't know we had to do SpongeBob first. Once I was able to do that, I went back to the portal, and it was easy. Now, it wasn't easy, it was definitely difficult, but I didn't have to rely on anybody else to really let me know what to do. It was very simple, straightforward, a little bit challenging at parts. That's why I'm going to be putting this one at replayable, because I think you could replay this game and still have fun with it. Oh boy, pressure. I did not like it. When I was playing it, it was super confusing. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I ended up beating the game originally. It was one of the last games I did. I beat it, then realized I had to go get a radio or a decoder to then decode the radios. I didn't know I needed to decode the radio, so I ended up making it to the end of the whole map, then realized I had to go replay the entire thing again. I was up at 5 a.m. I was not having a fun time, but thinking back and in comparison to the other ones, this was a very unique principle. It was difficult, it was challenging. I'm going to actually put that one at fun. I think I'd almost go back and replay that just because of how strange of a concept it was and how different it was. For our next game, we have Chained. I didn't get to play this one with a friend. None of my friends were up to par with where I was at that moment. This one got released, and it was, I believe, a Saturday night. I'm going to put this one at mid. I didn't hate it. I also didn't love it. It was a little bit challenging. It wasn't balanced. They had a few, easy parkour challenges, and you had to really pray that you didn't get matched up with an idiot. And you also had to pray that you could get lucky on this pressing 4 buttons aspect. I didn't like that part. But then you had a few parkour sections at the end, and it really saved it all together. Next, we head to Rivals, one of my favorite games. I play ranked on it during classes. I grind it. I'm decent, I suppose. This one you had to, from my memory, which isn't great, you had to go talk to a chicken guy after you were able to distinguish tiny little discrepancies in the targets around the map. It was very difficult to see, but once you knew what you were doing, it opened up an area. Then you had to go take on a boss fight. This boss fight was difficult. For a robot that doesn't move, it found ways to destroy you with aimbot. I can't remember how many times I got sniped. I ran up to my room from work to just do this game. I'm going to put this one at unfun. No, I'm going to put it at mid. I liked the concept. It was just a little bit short. And also, it was a bot that you were fighting. Felt like it could have been a little bit more, I don't know, skill-based, so you're not just sliding and jumping and shooting. For our next game, we have Clip It. I sat through 30 minutes of Roblox clips and scrolled through it. Not for the mega token, but just for their normal token. I watched Clip It clips, and they are not high quality. Neither is my content, but this was on a whole nother level. And then you had to go, like, almost spend Robux, it looked like, in order to get access to all these mega tokens. Which, if you're spending Robux in their game, they get a huge commission, I'm assuming. And it was just, I did not enjoy it. It was just like, hurry up, get the game done, so that way I can move on to the next one, which was World Zero. World Zero, you had to go around the map and look at different places, and then you had to bring them back and somehow solve a little bit of a puzzle, and then you got to go do a boss fight. This boss fight was challenging. I first tried it, but if you didn't know what you were doing, it could definitely be a very difficult. I'm going to put this one at fun. I enjoyed this one. Not a huge fan of the game overall, but they put a great game together. Dusty Trip. I've never liked Dusty Trip. I still can't figure out how to build a car, or much less drive the car. It's not a game I enjoy playing. I was able to get it with Huss, and then immediately got shredded because I couldn't pick up the stupid AK. But we were able to recover. I had to do the entire thing by myself. It was very repetitive for no particular reason. This was just unfun. I'm not opposed to never playing Dusty Trip again because of the event, but it is definitely on the lower end of unfun. For a Dusty Trip game, like, it's supposed to be able to... I had high expectations. Now, one of the most controversial games of the event, Infection Gunfight. I enjoyed it. Hate me all you want. It was insanely difficult because you could get unlucky. I was able to get lucky, which could be one of the reasons that I actually liked the game and the concept of Mega Hunt. However, they needed to not just shorten it to Mega, they could have kept it at the 8, but they needed to have a tracking system. And then if you can get them in order, just make it so it doesn't reset. I think if they did all of these, this one would actually be fun. But because of that, I'm going to put it at mid. It was just insanely difficult to get all 8. But also, this was for $1 million. It wasn't supposed to be easy. And I think I'll be replaying this game in the future. Probably not. My chat will scream at me. Next, we have Basketball Legends. You had to go to the Hall of Fame, flick a lever, and then shoot in a few different areas in order to get a boss fight against Ja Morant, where you just had to do a shoot around. I like Basketball Legends. I've played leagues in Basketball Legends. I know I'm up to par with a lot of the people playing this event, and I think that the Ja Morant boss was too easy. I don't think it was unfun. I kind of liked going around and figuring out the puzzle. I think they could have made it a little bit more difficult, and then you can maybe put it at replayable. But that's where I am at this moment. Metro! Never really played Metro Life. Not a huge fan of role-playing games. However, this one wasn't bad. You got to go around in a car. You had to find a few puzzle pieces, or not puzzle pieces, but numbers to then open up a safe. This really was the closest thing we had to an egg hunt. I really liked this game. I'm going to put it at fun. Not quite up with replayable, like Untitled Tag Game, but definitely Metro knew what they were doing with this event. Now, Hell's Kitchen did not know that this game existed for until the event actually started. I love the concept. It has an elimination base. It's competitive, and the quests were not too difficult. They had you tracking down a recipe for Gordon Ramsay. They had a bad guy being the judge. It was a whole great twist at the end. I think this one was replayable. You had a few different tasks you had to do. I really liked the concept of their Mega Token. Next we have Arsenal. Oh yeah, that was the one that was the MMO. I really liked it. I was just in the speed mode aspect where I really just wanted to get it done. I think that this one could go up into the top tier of fun. I think it could almost be borderline replayable, but what's the word I'm looking for here? A little bit lackluster. I think you could have added more characters, made it a little bit more variation to it. It also didn't reflect most of Arsenal, where it's a first-person shooter. So for that reason, I'm not putting it in replayable. It's going to stick in fun, though. Natural Disaster Survival. I didn't understand it at the start, but I think they really had an idea of what they were trying to accomplish here. They made it seem like you had to survive a certain encounter on that specific level. However, you had to talk to the guy. So it wasn't just super easy, but it was a great way to make it difficult in a game that really is that easy. I think they could have made it a little bit more harder, added more maps, but then you're getting into the luck aspect, which they do try to avoid. Eat the World. I really enjoyed the concept of this one. You had to do a few different puzzles around the map, and then you had to go and do a parkour section, which was ultimately not fun for me. I think it was a great concept. I think they made it just a little bit too hard. For me, as somebody who is decent at parkour, who has played Roblox for many years, I think that this one, for especially new players, this is one where you can get stuck at. I think I have a pretty good short for this clip, and I'm going to be trying to put that out at some point. However, this one is going to go in unfun. Even though I did personally kind of like the event, I think it was just unrealistic. Car Crushers 2. Have many words about this one. They had you going everywhere. They had you going to their OG game. They had you playing OG Derby. And honestly, I did not like their event, because they had you going everywhere. It was not super simple. You should stay in one game for the most part and not have you going around searching in different servers. It's just way too confusing. Granted, it is for $1 million, and once you got the hang of it, you kind of knew what you were doing, but they had that random hole you had to fall through. It was a whole mess with not really that many clues. Now we have Blade League. I really thought that this was Blade Ball when we first started the event. Turns out it's not. Surprise! But you had to go around in different maps looking for a little sticky note thing with a card number on it, and then you got access to a boss fight against a moon giant who was actually pretty good. It was a bot similar to Arsenal Rivals, and for that reason I'm going to be putting it similarly to Rivals in the mid tier. I enjoyed it, but it was a little short compared to all the other ones. Would rather you scale up with your boss fights. For our next game, we have Bayside High School. This one, honestly, I think could be one of the top mega tokens. Hate role-playing games. Mind you that I play sports games. However, I'm going to put this one in replayable because the puzzles that they had you doing were amazing. They had you going around everywhere trying to piece together. They had a clear objective of what you needed to do. You had 4 tasks that you needed to do that associated with 4 rooms. You had to go through history. You had to go through math, art, and music, I think, or geography instead of art. And you had to go cook a pizza and everything. And they had the fart thing. Granted, it was a little bit weird, but it all fit together pretty nicely, which is why I liked it. Now, Regretivator. I'm struggling to remember the second half. Oh yeah, you had to go find digits around the lobby and in the games. And this one I'm going to put in replayable, at the bottom end of replayable though. I really enjoyed the aspect of going around searching for stuff. It was a hunt event. I felt that there needed to be more games where you were hunting for something. And I think Regretivator did a really good job on that. I think I will be going back and playing Regretivator as more of a competitive game, but their Mega Token was definitely on the higher end of Mega Tokens for myself. TDS. TDS was starting to grow on me before the event. I was grinding for it because I knew we would need a Mega Token at some point for the game. And then they ended up giving you set classes. There was very little instruction. Redcliffe Falls was guessed really early on for our final day. And they had a really, really bad fail. They accidentally shut down the servers and allowed you to not team up with people who didn't activate the Redcliffe area or who had previously done all of the Mega Tokens with the party aspect of it. They did not declare that you had to do the Mega Edition. I ended up clicking easy, thinking I was in first place and would now be passing everybody. However, it was not. They shut down the servers and people were at level 19 and were super pissed because they didn't end up being able to finish, which put them at a massive disadvantage to all of the people who are already ahead. This created a massive gap between the top players and everybody else, which then led us to Pet Sim 99. This game had potential. It was a very hard game. It was final day. This game felt like $1 million rested on you completing this game. I'm pretty sure everybody was watching live streamers just trying to get some sort of idea of what the hell we were supposed to do. We had a knock-knock door we had to go into, and then hidden letters. I only ended up finding 2 of the hidden letters because then we thought we had to type something in chat to make this random door open. However, all of the letters spelled out the word Gunter. Now, as a Scrabble word player, and somebody who knows that Gunter is not a word, and it is an anagram for urgent, I was so confused. I was thinking knock-knock jokes, urgent knock-knock jokes. I had no idea where to go. And then all of a sudden we have to do this spelling out of Gunter in a blue room and clicking every single clover in the entire map. Give us a hint or something. Because once these people at the top figured it out, they gate kept like crap. Nobody knew what we were supposed to do. It's $1 million. I'm not blaming the people who were gatekeeping. I completely understand. They want to get a massive head start. But people were finishing Fish before I even had finished Pet Sim. It was ridiculous. This game's not that hard. It's an auto game. However, once we were able to figure it out, I couldn't even track which clovers I was clicking. That may be my problem, but like, good lord, why? Why make us click a unclickable item? Which then led us to Drive World. At this point, I was already pretty annoyed. I'd spent 2 hours playing a game I didn't want to, and they were already known for selling overpriced products, and now they were getting everybody sitting in their server with premium, making tons of money. So that brings us to Drive World, and I was just in catch-up mode. I don't remember much of this besides you had to drive around to UFOs getting certain codes after you drove a ball halfway across the map. If I didn't know there was a ball to push halfway across the map, I would have never found it. I was so lucky I was able to be a little bit tutorialed after playing Pet Sim for so much longer. However, I am going to put Drive World in the fun section of my tier list because of the fact that it was very unique. It was partnered with difficult along with search. I really enjoyed it. Which leads us to Untitled Boxing Game. This one, I'm running out of room right here. We might be a little bit cooked. I think for a boxing game, it was difficult. It still pertained to the game. You had to climb up a random ladder rope thing in the sky that was really difficult to see. I was starting to think that it wasn't actually even there for me when I was getting bullied by some kid. Now, throughout this, I almost didn't see the jump that I had to do after you do the puzzle, and it was very unique. It was difficult. I was able to win. It took me a little bit of dodging and everything, but it was a okay game. It Girl. I will never play this game because of this event. I didn't like It Girl to begin with. I am a man. I think I still hold some of my man card after playing this game, but not much. I played this game for an hour looking for a battery that looked like lipstick. I finally was like, I quit. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm done. My eyes are dead. I just got done playing Pet Sim for 2 hours. I'm not finding this battery. I give up. And then I find it within like 5 minutes of my stream. Literally today, I'm not playing this game. I do like the aspect of the saving the it bots or whatever they were. And their puzzle aspect after the finding of the batteries was alright. Which leads us to our last game of Fish, which I just finished over like, I think an hour ago. We didn't like the original Fish token, and then the maze was nice, but like not having a boat really cooked you. You kind of had to swim there. But then you go through this maze and you have to listen to the Cthulhu, and it was really hard. And then I crashed due to my stupid college not having Wi-Fi. You really think as a $18,000 per semester you'd have Wi-Fi. That is not the case. So I crashed, had to go back in, got my reset, and I was like, this puzzle's too hard. And then they were able to, after you tried it, do it once, then you got Cthulhu's Curse, which allowed you to see music notes, which made it easier to match the fish with the song. Which is great, because people who are deaf or have hearing problems like I do, that was a really hard game to do. Which is why it's going to stay in mid. I am glad that they had the music notes that allowed you to, work around your difficult atmosphere, because their music is already really loud. If people are trying to fish right there, it is already extremely loud. Granted, I was probably playing this one after the big rush, but it was still really loud. I did enjoy the overall of this event. As you can see, there are 3 more that don't make this all balanced. I think this was a really balanced event, if not on the higher side. As you can see, I'd probably put this as a fun event. I enjoyed playing it. There were obviously games I did not enjoy playing, like these. Top left is going to be my favorite games. bottom right is going to my least favorite game, so it's just going to count straight across. I'm going to order these in my first favorite game to last favorite game. There you go. This is my official 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see. Let me know in the comments below, like, what percentage you agree, which is your biggest that you disagree with. And if you guys want to see me do more of these events, hit the like button, because this event really annoyed me with these main 7 games. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. Hit the like button, and we will see you guys all in my next stream, video, short, whatever you decide to see in the future. See you guys.